Word of mouth marketing and networking reportedly are the most powerful and most effective means of marketing anywhere. But how can you form business relationships so that others can quickly recommend your services and your offers? The key is networking, and speed networking will speed up networking. You've got to get out for that word of mouth, meet with other people who meet you, learn what your offer is, and so that you can ask them to think about other people who can use what you have to offer. That's the key to networking, and speed networking just speeds up that process. It's been said that you could find 10 customers yourself, but if you can find 10 people who can find 10 people who need what you have to offer, you can just do the math to figure out how successful you could be doing it that way. But how do you find and get in front of enough of the right people? The way we have found that we are most excited about is speed networking. This is great for everybody, but especially introverts. Let me explain. Speed networking is when a group of business people agree to meet at a certain location with the specific goal of forming business relationships. Once gathered, the event begins when you start talking to the person across from you or next to you. This is a moderated event where each person gets to talk about who you are and what your business is for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. You also get to explain who your best clients are and who you are looking to meet that they may know. This is a two-way conversation that today is being called communication commerce. You are expected to promote yourself and then to listen to other people promote themselves and their business. After a couple of minutes, the moderator will end that conversation and ask you to move on to the next conversation. This is the time that new conversations begin. Everyone at the event now speaks to someone they have not yet spoken to. This is a fast-paced and fun cycle that repeats over and over until everyone at the event has spoken to everyone else at the event. Hello again, everybody. This is Mike Hayes, podcasting on video. And today I'm talking about speed networking. And we're going to add our own unique twist to it. I call this cross-group speed networking, and the opportunity that it provides all of us to get abundant and free leads while growing your business or your organization. So stay tuned. Speed networking has been used for decades and usually takes place at business events and conferences all over the world, but also takes place specifically in speed networking events. I'm going to show you how to participate in one and even how to run one and avoid the pitfalls. As always, there's more information available for you at freepublicrelationsclub.com, where we teach the new rules and tools of public relations. Let's get right into it. People go to large businesses and events mainly to network. I know, because I traveled to 1 to 3 conferences and events for media marketing every month for 15 straight years. There, I became known as the Network King because I made it my business to want to know all of the key influencers who could best help my business and my clients' businesses. Speed networking is to form relationships, make connections, share your opportunities, and obtain leads, and most importantly, solid connections. Number one, you want to promote your own brand, your own story, and get new clients. Speed networking will do exactly that. Speed networking is often run as an event within an event. It can be run as an event inside of a chamber mixer. And sometimes it will be just a speed networking session. And that's what we're talking about today as I introduce the new opportunity for cross-group speed networking at the ideal speed networking location, Capital One Coffee Shop in Walnut Creek. But we're also going to be holding speed networking events at a variety of locations. Right now, I'm going to show you how to run one, how to get the most out of it, and really use a particular session like our upcoming speed networking event to strengthen your group, grow your audience, and your business. I'm going to explain this in 4 stages. First, you need to be able to set it up to get people enthusiastic about it, like using this promotional video to tell people what they can get out of it. Secondly, I'm going to share some vitally important tips on running it so that you can participate more successfully. We can have a better event, and that will help your ongoing networking to build better relationships. And I'm going to share some insider secrets from past speed networking events, how to shut it down. That may sound simple, but it's a little more challenging than first meets the eye. And most importantly, how to plant the seeds and how to make everyone who attends comfortable and successful in doing it. The more you know what to expect, the better the event will be. Now, there are many different ways to run speed networking sessions. Different filters or frameworks that can be used. First, I'm going to talk about what I call a free-form approach. Now, this can be done anywhere. Doesn't matter if people are sitting down or standing. Even theater or auditorium style works well. You can even move the whole group into a separate room. All of these things work. There are other forms that are worth spending some time looking at. There's the structured approach based on speed dating, where one group actually gets up and physically moves, maybe the men, maybe the women. Then half the group was sitting at a ring of tables and got up and moved. So everybody got a chance to chat with each other. Today there's also some computer software I've seen work effectively that you can use to organize and even set up meetings in advance. There's even some that employ artificial intelligence. Once people fill in a few details in the software, then it's easy to match people up. There are also ways to do business-to-business speed networking, where you're matching up suppliers and product promoters or product providers. This is the kind of event that happened at the traditional media marketing trade shows I've attended. Today we're going to talk about a do-anywhere approach for a variety of different clubs and bringing them all together for cross-group speed networking. So not everybody's talking to the choir, so to speak. There's a lot of other people that Chamber of Commerce members could be talking to, such as Toastmasters. I met some amazing people in Toastmasters who would benefit greatly by learning more about Chamber of Commerce networking, and conversely, Toastmasters are excellent communicators and great at networking and even speed networking. And then there is a variety of nonprofits who are looking for help, volunteers, donations, etc. So I'd like to invite you to imagine the results of cross-pollination of groups, cross meetings, all the different ways that we can help and support each other as a group of friends in commerce. The type we're going to use, you can do at any time. And what I like about speed networking, it provides a context, a framework, a filter that will bring in anybody and everybody, even if you're an introvert or if you're shy or if you haven't really worked on your elevator pitch. This is the perfect place to limit what you need to say about your company, because I've learned that many people have a very difficult time clarifying how they talk about what they can do and what they offer. And anybody you confuse, you lose. So if you need to talk to me in advance about how you should describe your company or your nonprofit, please feel free to click on the link below, and you can have a simple, short, one-to-one conversation with me for free to discuss in advance what you think you should talk about. The framework that we are presenting and getting the crowd enthusiastic about will get everyone involved, even shy people and introverts as well, because we want you to know this is a place where you have the freedom, the expectation, the permission to approach other people and talk about yourself, your company, your offer, or who you'd like to work with. In my experience, almost everybody will get into this. And that alone is a tremendous win. For shy or introverted people, this provides a close, a limitation on the amount of time you need to talk. It's only going to be 1, 2, or 3 minutes, and then the conversation closes. It's not like attending an hour lunch where you're feeling on the spot. 2 or 3 minutes you can write up, have that in your pocket, on an index card, practice it, read it in advance, and prepare and get better and better. Every time you do one, you're getting better at it with practice. If you're afraid of starting a conversation with someone and not knowing how to move on to another conversation, this structure alone provides that for you. And that's how we're going to run it for you, to get you engaged in conversations. Today, this is called conversational commerce. And that's a very, very important point. So now let's get into how you run one so you'll understand what you can attend or even learn to run one for your club, group, or business if that's of interest. First of all, what I'm doing right now is promoting the speed networking session to multiple groups, because that's what we want to do, is orchestrate this and coordinate this for you, your club, your business, your nonprofit, to help you to meet other people outside of your initial sphere of influence. And in multiple groups, it's important to do it as early as possible. Now let me share another thing that is so wonderful about a cross-group speed networking event. Everybody also gets a chance to promote it to their group on Facebook, Facebook events, etc., and also use the experience to talk about in their Facebook postings, their Google My Business posting, so that we begin to grow a larger and larger cross-pollinating community. So you can participate by speed networking at the event, and you can also participate to help grow the speed networking event, more people to network with, to grow your group, grow your nonprofit, grow your business. This can be an all hands on deck event where we're all helping each other. Start getting your business cards ready right now. Start writing up some notes on how you want to talk about yourself so you can get it nice and condensed and short, because today the internet has changed all of your consumers. They don't have the time or patience for long conversations. They like to get things short and sweet. So just simply boil down your notes, edit it, and it'll work perfectly in a speed networking event, especially to new groups you haven't yet met. Your elevator speech can be about you, your business, and what you're working on. You'll get the most benefit out of this session by thinking in advance about what you want to say. I love to get people enthusiastic about attending, enthusiastic about meeting you. At past meetups that we've run, networking has been the most highly rated of all the other events. People love to meet new people. We've had lots of great feedback about the events, people making great contacts. And in my experience, honestly, I've met so many people that have changed my life through networking over the years. I realized it only takes meeting one single new person to dramatically change the trajectory of your life or your business forever. At an event like this, it's not just about the presenters or the workshops. The person sitting right next to you may be the contact that you have been hoping and praying to meet, but we're not clairvoyant. And so we can't know that until we go and make a speed connection. And that can start a brand new, full-bodied relationship. I want people to know that any connection they meet may be the most valuable thing they get out of this 20, 30, or 40, or 50-minute event. Watch the rest of this video so that you'll see all of the different things that will help you to really understand the benefits of attending and how to get the most out of it for you. So when I introduce the session, I like to say something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments we're going to start our speed networking, or in this case, our unique cross-group speed networking session. I will be asking you in a moment to stand up, to turn around and introduce yourself to the person next to you, or find someone that you do not know, and be receptive to them when they approach you. You'll have about 1 minute to do this. Tell them who you are, where you work, what you are working on, and maybe mention some challenges that you have at the moment. Who you'd like to meet, what kind of job you're looking for, who's your ideal client, why did you attend this event? Or most importantly, I believe, explain your ideal client so they can remember who you are looking for. Remember, anyone you confuse, you lose, so be clear. So it's simple, talk and listen and talk. At the end of those 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to ring the bell. Now, please understand now, that's your cue to finish up the conversation. Simply turn around and talk to somebody new. I explained, folks, we've got about 20 minutes for this session, so let's get the most out of it. So I even explained approximately how long the session will run. Now we've got the session running. That means there's a room full of people chatting away, and the volume is going to go up, and that's the fun part. Lots of noise, lots of excitement during this activity. So here's some tips on what to do during the speed networking and how you can help actually run the event by understanding what's expected and complying so that we can all get the most out of it. Now, even though I say there's 1 to 2 minutes each, I like to be flexible and see how it's going. I don't want anybody to feel rushed. So this is the way that we can all work to control the time. Maybe you're excited about the very first person you meet and you want to stick with them. Well, you'll have plenty of time at the end to get back to them, because it may be the 14th person you meet that may be just as important or even more important. So you want to keep things moving. Speed networking is run by a master of ceremony. So I keep my eye on my watch, my timer, so that we can control the time and keep things moving. I like to give a little more time at the start of the session and then speed things up as you become more comfortable delivering your 1 or 2 minute speech. We like to tighten up the time, keeps the excitement up and the energy up. So sometimes we like to allow 3.5, even 4 minutes when there's time, just to be able to set up the conversations properly so everybody gets the most out of it. As the session goes on, I like to start to shorten up the time of each conversation. Building up the pace builds up the energy and the excitement. If you choose to run your own events, personally, I keep the timing on my iPhone. Set the timer to 2 or 3 minutes, hit start, and then I'll get a bell when the time's up. And then I have my own bell at the event. Once the timer goes off, I like to look around and see how it's going and carry a pretty loud sounding bell so that we can get everyone's attention. When we are doing this, maybe you remember back to Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts that when the leader asked for silence, everybody else started raising their hand to alert those around them that it's time to stop talking, get ready to move on to the next person that you're about to meet. The visual of a bell works better if you're putting on your own event and getting people to raise their hands. We're all working together to put on the best possible event. I promise you'll be surprised the first time you run your own speed networking event, because the excitement level when people are talking about their own company makes it quite noisy. So you need to be on top of the sound if you're going to be the master of ceremonies. So it's nice if there's some audio equipment in the event. If not, it's very important that everybody help. I like to hold up cards, quiet please cards, so that everyone else can participate and hold up their hand as well. This will give you much better control of the dynamics of the volume in the room. At past meetup networking events, I like to reinforce why we're there, what they're doing to get the most out of this event. I remind them to tell them about your big challenge, about what you're working on, and most importantly, who you'd like to meet in a way that they can remember. Anybody you confuse, you lose, and you don't want to lose business. So you've got to be short and sweet and simple. Think of it as a soundbite that they can remember so they can help you connect with more people. I also like to advise you to watch out for new people coming in, and also remind you, if you are late, we're going to be there to help you to get into the mix right away. There's always going to be some stragglers at an event like this. That's up to the MCs and the organizers to involve them in the group as quickly as makes sense, maybe as soon as the bell rings in the next go-round. I have to be a bit of a puppet master. If I see someone by themselves and maybe another person somewhere else, or to ask one of our co-organizers to kind of help and reach out. If there's 2 or 3 people by themselves, I like to have them form their own group, because sometimes people are more comfortable talking in a small group rather than just one-to-one. And don't forget, people are there to network. So if you see 2 or 3 people gathered, ask them if they mind if you break in to talk to them and their group. This is a networking session, so form a small group if you're more comfortable. Now let me tell you how to finish the session up if you want to put on your own cross-group speed networking event, or just the understanding that this is a bit of a challenge, so please be aware of it and participate in wrapping up. First of all, to wrap up a speed networking session takes longer than you expect it to, because people are enthusiastic. They get in the mode. They're in the talking mode, the talking program, if you will. And it's hard to kind of turn that mode off and settle down a little bit. They get excited, and that's great. That's what we want. We want to encourage that. That means they're going to be talking about it in their Facebook and their Google My Business postings. We want to settle people back down and keep the activity in control to get them to take their seats again. In my experience, you have to plan on leaving at least 3 or 4 minutes to get people to settle down, take their seats again, so you can move on with the rest of the event and let them break out into deeper conversations and relationship building conversations and connections with the people they've met. So it's in everyone's best interest to kind of wrap up the speed networking part of it to get into the one-on-one networking portion of it. I like to remind them that maybe they've met somebody important and we don't want to cut into their one-on-one time, so they see the benefit of getting back to their seats. I also tell people we've had some late arrivers who maybe didn't have a seat and they just might take your seat. So if you don't return to your seat now, you may find someone sitting in it. Those things combine to get them to settle down. I always like to congratulate the attendees for getting into the activity and really helping to keep the networking running smoothly. That's why I think a group like Toastmasters will be so helpful to be part of cross-group networking, because they understand and they have training and leadership and running a meeting and timing and networking and communication and elevator speeches, and learn how important Chamber of Commerce membership is. So really we want the cross-pollination working for everybody, not only at the event but after the event. So this positive reinforcement will work through, not only through the event, but through the one-to-one follow-up and even the social media exposure to build the next event bigger and better. We all want to do positive reinforcement to get people to help us. I always take the time to encourage everyone to continue the networking beyond the speed networking into one-to-one networking, coffee meeting networking, or Zoom meeting networking, or phone calls, to build friendships in commerce, build relationships, build support systems, build referral partners. So just because you've talked to people who might have been strangers for the previous 20 minutes, they can become your most important ally in the upcoming days, weeks, months, and even years. Once you get in the mode, pretty soon you'll be comfortable introducing yourself with your elevator speech to anyone who's at the event or even future events that you attend. That works very nicely to get everybody chatting, talking, and expecting other people to follow up with them so they are receptive when people do, because that person may be your best referral partner you've ever met. So even people who are uncomfortable networking suddenly have permission to do it. and a place and way to do it. One thing we learned at Toastmasters Group is timing is very, very important. And in speed networking, especially cross-group speed networking, it can be very flexible. And so we can utilize the timing of the speed networking to control the flow. We can slow it down or speed it up, whatever makes the most sense or whatever is needed in the event at that time. So if you get started late, you can shorten it down. You're not locked in, or you can also lengthen it as needed. Maybe the chamber executive director needs to make an announcement to the group, so we can speed it up to accommodate the needs of the meetings. This is great content material for your Facebook page, for your postings, for your Google My Business. Think of how much you're going to learn, and you can talk about the people that you meet in your next content postings. This is going to give you a lot of materials for your social media outreach as well. And you can even talk about posting the meetings that you have with other people, doing it for each other, even make an agreement. I'll talk about you in my social media if you talk about me in your social media. There you have it, my friends in commerce. I hope you found this useful. If you are concerned about the clarity of your elevator speech, I'd like to invite you to connect with me for a free 15-minute consultation. It can be on the phone or on Zoom. I will listen to it for free. I will make suggestions for free, and I will invite you to our free publicrelationsclub.com so that you can get feedback from other people. We are building a community of support for every small business owner and nonprofit. So stay tuned, and right now, contact me if you need some reinforcement about your elevator speech, or register for free below. Find the link to freepublicrelationsclub.com, where we teach you the new rules and tools of public relations to grow your company or your nonprofit. Thanks for listening to my podcasting on video. I'm Mike Hayes.